This is Donald Trump's base, people without a bachelor's degree, also known as working class voters. And his ability to broaden his support within this group of people delivered him the 2024 election.
Well, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans across the nation who have always been the heart and soul of this really great movement.
But how did he do it? Let's dive into the data. If we look at how these two groups voted, it's clear voters with degrees made up Kamala Harris's base support, and those without made up Trump's. And if you compare how these groups voted in 2020 versus today, you'll see a significant shift to Trump by the non-college voters. You can see how he's made those gains if you sort the non-college voters by gender. Trump made huge gains among men, and a small gain among women without a college degree. And if we just look at his voters, he gained support with Black and Hispanic voters since 2020. It was part of a Republican strategy.
They argued that Hispanic voters wouldn't be alienated, but would be attracted to a crackdown on immigration at the border, illegal immigration at the border, and that many Black voters are culturally conservative and would respond to a culturally conservative message from Republicans. This election suggests that that strategy is working.
I believe their values are more in line with my culture as well as my family culture and values.
So is the strategy to appeal to young men. If you look at how voters 45 and older voted in 2020 and in 2024, their support didn't change much. But when you look at younger voters, that's where things change. In 2020, voters under 30 went for President Joe Biden by a 25-point margin. But in 2024, voters under 30 went for Harris by only a 5-point margin.
One presumption that seems totally to have exploded in this election is the idea that young voters are uniformly liberal.
To understand this shift, let's look only at how men voted. In 2020, young men supported Biden by 15 points. In 2024, that support flipped, and young men supported Trump by 13. Trump spent a lot of time campaigning specifically to young men.
He went to Ultimate Fighting Championship competitions. He went to a sneaker convention. The audience there is largely young men. He went on multiple podcasts where the audience is primarily young men.
You ever been in a fist fight, Mr. President?
Probably not.
He produced a video with the golfer Bryson DeChambeau. For a while, it was the #1 trending video on YouTube.
It's perfect. Let's go.
We got the salt on it.
What Trump did to win was really broaden this base of working class voters, bringing in more men and more Black and Hispanic voters.
This is important because it shows the Republican Party has a path to future growth. It's not just going to try to squeeze more votes out of a shrinking group in the electorate. It was able to supplement white working class voters with those from these other groups.